Welcome everybody to the DIY Maker channel. Today I've got something pretty interesting for you. It's a tale of two knives. These two knives are from my friend Joe. Joe is quite infamous or famous in Ohio. He is the owner of the Ohio School of Falconry. And if you've ever watched my podcast, which is the Airgun Geeks podcast with Patrick, that bird is in my background in every video we've done for the last several years. I met Joe at a airgun event, and he and I have been friends ever since. And I got to say, this knife is from Spain. It's made by a company that goes by the name of CDS. It's a Celtabiro is the name of the knife. And Joe got the one with the Cocobolo grip on it. I have to say, as knives go, this thing is a beautiful piece of workmanship. The feel and the grip and everything, it fits really well. It's got some really rugged jimping here. I'm not sure how well your thumb would do against that jimping over time, but it does have a good sharp spine. We're going to test that today. We're going to scrape some fat wood. We're going to baton some wood, and we're going to take a look at this knife. And we're going to contrast it with a knife from our friends in Sweden. This is the Mora Garberg. This is actually one of my favorite bushcraft knives. And this is Joe's Garberg. He sent it out here, and I went and sharpened both of these before this review. So you're not seeing factory edges here. These are my edges. And this is my Garberg. My Garberg is pretty well used and loved. I use it for all of my fire tests out here in the DIY Maker Studio. It also comes equipped with my my rendition of what a fire starter should be, which is the Uberleben massive fire stick. Man, this thing will get her going. And I'm going to use this today because I don't want to use the one that came with Joe's knife because it's too pretty, and I don't want to be the guy who scuffed it up for him. So that's why I got mine out. Plus, you know, one of the things that really got me about this knife, one of the things I respected about it enormously, was the quality of the leather work on this. I mean, this sheath is tooled leather. It is beautiful to look at. It's very well made. It's got some great stitching on it. This knife is meant to be carried on your belt, either horizontally or vertically. It does have a leg lash on it, so you can get the kind of fit you want. Their fire starter looks like a run-of-the-mill ferrocerium rod. I'm sure it'll do fine. And it does come with a striker, so you don't have to worry about using your knife with it if you don't want to. It also has a sharpening stone. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the sharpening stones that they include. You know, could it get you out of trouble if you were lost in the middle of nowhere and had no way to sharpen your knife? Is this better than nothing? It is. I'm kind of preferential to my diamond stones and my leather strops. So I'm going to hopefully leave with a really good edge on my knife. But, you know, this thing, I would probably take the stone out and fill that with tinder myself. But I have one of these as well. I think mine has the G10 grips on it. Not as pretty as Joe's Cocobolo. But anyway, let's get to doing some of that knife stuff with these and see how they do. First up, we're going to do some batoning. Now, batoning is something that's very controversial in the YouTube knife world. Honestly, if you've got a full tang knife and as heavy as the spine is on the Spanish knife, I'm not worried about it. This is Mova 58 steel. It's a favorite knife steel of the Spanish knife makers, it appears. It's a very, very high quality steel, and this is a full tang knife, so I'm not stressing the handles too much. But let's see how this batons. Nice. Let's do one more. Man, this wood here is very well dried oak. It is quite crispy. So this knife does really good at batoning. Not a problem there. Let's try the Mora out. Wow. That Scandi grind really excels at a lot of this stuff. I also personally prefer the Scandi grind for taking mammals apart. It is my favorite animal disassembly tool. Everything from squirrels all the way up to deer. I've never done a bear with one, but I wouldn't mind that opportunity one day. Yeah, it's really good. One other interesting contrast between the Mora and the Celtibera. The Mora, I have my Garberg in carbon steel. So if I just had a piece of quartz or flint, I could actually still generate a spark with this. You would not be able to do that with this steel. This is a stainless steel. It will not strike a spark from a piece of flint or quartz, a hard stone. It'll still work with a ferrocerium rod just fine, but either one will. But this one will work with just a rock found in the wild. So I think this kind of has a slight edge. Plus, I really like carbon steel that's properly heat treated. And I'm telling you, the Swedes don't need any tutelage on knife heat treating. They're really good at it. The Spanish are too. This is a great knife. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I can start a fire more ways with this knife than I can with this one. This one is still a very pretty, very nice knife. So we've proven that yes, we can baton with both of these. Now let's do some curls. Well, Garberg does a fine job making some curls. Let's give a try with another piece of wood and the Celtibera. Try a different edge. I don't know whether it's me or that piece of wood, but it does not seem to want to curl as well as the Mora did, but I could be spoiled learning how to use that Mora edge all the time. Well, this is the same piece of wood. I don't see any real big benefit here, but I thought the Marburg was easier to cut curls with. But we're going to get to the interesting part here. We're going to do some scraping with some fat wood. I have to import my fat wood because it's really hard to find here in California. Turns out all of those regular forest fires kind of clean out all the pine trees that would have had resin in them. Anyway, let's do some scraping and see how this does. Well, I can tell you, that spine is plenty sharp, and it does a great job of making a really quick pile of fine shavings. No problem there. Let's give it a try with the Mora next and see how it does. We'll keep these piles separate to give us a fire start here in a minute. Yeah, the Mora also quite capable of the scraping. Man, I love that smell. Yeah, that will definitely scrape some fat wood really well. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, let's get to striking a spark and seeing how this thing does for making a fire. I'm going to give this one a little more material. Again, I'm going to use my Uberleben fire starter off of my kit. And this is the Mora knife, the Mora Garberg. Yeah, no joke there. And then we're going to use the Celtibero. Both of them quite capable of single strike starts. So no issues there. Let's give a little test with a commercial fire starter. This is the Fire Flame by Kickneck, and they sent these to me to evaluate, and I have really come to like these for doing a quick improvised fire start. They are quite capable. They burn for about 5 minutes, and they're completely waterproof. And no, I'm not going to sit here and dunk them in a glass of water to prove that, because it's freaking paraffin and cotton. I don't think anybody needs to get proven that that's an effective waterproof solution. We'll put one there. Get another one prepped the same way. What I do is give them a little twist and then pull on them just to get that cotton kind of toughed up so it catches the spark really well. And we'll try one with the Mora. Not a problem. We'll try one with the Celtibero. Did that go out? Nope, it's still burning. Yeah, they're both going. All right, no problem. Both capable knives. Both are plenty sharp, and you know, this edge geometry, I'm not as fond of this for work on game as I am this. For some reason, I think this was developed in an area where protein harvesting was probably done more because they could rely less on grown crops in the far north of Europe. But that's just theory on my part. But both knives beautifully made, similar costs. They're not too far apart. As far as sheaths go out of the box, I definitely got to give it to the Spanish. The Spanish know leather work, and this is very, very high quality, and it is beautiful to look at. I mean, it's just, it's well done. The Mora, again, very functional knife, very functional handle, simple but elegant sheath, and it's easy enough to mod and hack and put your own ferrocerium rod holder on there. If you'd like to see how I did this in an upcoming episode of the DIY Maker, I am just beginning my journey into leatherworking, but I really, really wanted this fire starter with this knife because I think they are a fantastic combination. And I'd be happy to do that. If you guys want to see it on the channel, let me know in the comments below. And other than that, I think that's about it for these two knives. I think either one of them are a great buy. This one I think is prettier. This one is the one that comes with me wherever I go because it works so well at so many things. I'm not taking anything away from this one because if you learn how to use this edge geometry well, you're going to love this knife and it's going to hold an edge well. So I don't think either one of them is really stand out better than the other, but I know which one I like more, and it's the Mora Garberg. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.